Hello there, Leo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. We're changing the format up this week because I am doing some more of the dailies live. And so we're going to change this. Instead of doing a card a day, we're going to be doing some other stuff for our weeklies. So we'll just see how this goes. You guys know me. I've been experimenting and playing for a long time. This whole channel started just as an experiment and went so well that I had to keep it going. I was obligated to keep it going because it went so well, and that's sort of how things are now. I still like to change it up and experiment, so see what we can do that's new. Okay, so Leos, I'm going to put down your cards. As I'm doing that, let me just remind you all that I do offer private readings, either by phone or by Skype, your preference, whichever one you like. And you can find all the contact information to schedule a reading at the website at the bottom of this screen. Okay, and this is once again for Leos. Let's see what we have coming up for you guys. The first thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about your environment, and your environment is anywhere where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it's home, sometimes it comes up as work or school. What I have showing up for you guys' environment is that there's some kind of good news about the environment itself or about finances in that environment. So maybe you found out that your rent has gone down. That doesn't seem very likely. Maybe the landlord is coming in to fix some things up, and maybe your utilities will go down. Or, maybe this is that you have, for some of you, I think you're actually moving and you're getting into an updated or an upgraded place to live, whether you're buying your own home or whether you're renting, whatever. Very prominent on the card that I'm looking at having to do with environment is that key that the young man is holding. So could be a new place that you're going into, or could be new responsibilities that you have in your environment, especially if this is regarding your work environment. This could be that you have new responsibilities in your work environment. Okay, let's look at subconscious leanings for you, Leos. It looks to me like you really want to start taking charge of your finances in a more organized, planned out way. And so your subconscious is working on, okay, how can I do that? How can I make a budget that I can actually stick with? How can I, make sure other people aren't sticking their little fingers in my wallet, different things like that. Your subconscious is working on how can I take more control of my finances? Okay, the next thing that I'm looking at for you, Leos, is two things: learning style and also communication style. Learning style, I think you're doing a lot that you're picking up spiritually or intuitively as far as learning right now, at least as it pertains to this week especially. And communication style, I think you're keeping a lot of things quiet. You definitely are listening much, much, much more than you're talking this week, Leos. Now, the next thing that I have coming up talks to me about your work. And for me, work is two things. It is how you are a productive part of the community, whether that's paid or unpaid. And it's also those things that you do to improve your own character to make you happy with you. So when we look out in the community, whatever your work is, it seems to be extremely stressful this week. And then as far as inner work, your inner work is to try to actually let go of that stress from the outer work so that you can get some kind of sleep at night, because it looks like the stress from work is actually interfering with your sleep. And so you are looking at, how can I reduce some of the stress in my life in general, but especially from these situations in work? What can I do to make things better? So that's your inner work. Now, next thing I'm looking at talks about that part of your personality which is growing or expanding right now. Kind of goes along with that inner work. You are moving away from things that have a negative influence on you, that hold you down and hold you back. And so moving forward away from those things is where you're getting strong this week. Things that you stand for. This week looks like something that's important that you're really standing for is taking the action you need to make sure that your cash flow is good. You're doing what you need to bring that money in. You're making sure that the budget covers everything. You're not doing impulse spending. You are really staying on top of finances this week. how other people perceive you. They see you as somebody who is maybe a little bit reclusive right now, at least during this week, that you're spending a lot of time alone. They may or may not be picking up on the idea that you are really doing a lot of thought and introspection this week, Leos. Okay, once we get more towards the end of the week, then we do have something that is sort of a game changer that happens. And what we have showing up is you really taking control. Where before we had you subconsciously working out how you could take control of your finances, what we see later on in the week is conscious action to take control not only of your finances but of your life in general. You're taking back authority other people had to make your decisions for you, and they only had that authority because you gave it to them. Now you're taking that back. You're saying thank you very much for making those decisions along the way, but I'm ready to make those decisions now. I'll be handling this from now on. Okay? As you're doing that, it does look like the extra load that you're pulling on yourself by doing that is kind of putting you in a position where some of the things that you normally handle are sort of falling through the cracks as you make that adjustment. Okay? And so as you're making that adjustment, it looks to me like there's a couple of things going on. First of all, we see you going back to a situation that had left you feeling depleted, a situation that you had gone away from before. I'm not sure that most of you have gone away from it during this week. I think maybe you went away from it actually even prior, Leos. But I see you coming back to that situation. I see you really missing somebody. Okay, so there's somebody out there that you're missing once we get to the end of the week, and that may be why you're going back to that situation, is because you want to be around that person again. Okay, so that's what we have coming up for you, Leos, for the week. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please put a thumbs up on this video. Please share it with somebody else that you think it might be helpful for as well. That does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate that. And for those of you who want a private reading, just get a hold of me. Everybody else, I will see on the next video. Peace out.